Hi to everyone. Welcome to this online lecture. My name is Dr.M.Hari Priya, working as Principal FAC at Tribal Welfare Degree College, Chennai. I want to share my online lecture on the project-oriented mathematical concepts. This concept I want to choose whenever any student think over how to do the project in mathematics. So I thought that this online video will be useful to them to discuss, to write a proposal, and what are the concepts we can come across through the projects. Just before going to the concept, I want to share a small quote. Like the crest of the peacock, like the gem on the head of a snake. So, is mathematics at the head of all our knowledge? Yes. We have to agree. Why? Because we all know that the mathematics is the queen of all the subjects. So, there are various applications here we can apply. And as a mathematics faculty, I want to take these two statements which are more useful, that don't assume unless stated. So whenever we are giving a statement, first of all, we have to think over about the statement, whether it is true or not, and later we have to state. And some statements should be proven before they are accepted. So we have to definitely accept this. Why? Because definitely any statement is given, either it may be a true or it may be a false. So always we have to take a true statement so that it will be acceptable always. Small here, the thing is, I want to give it as that all the graduates, they want to achieve some goals. So before going to achieve the goals, first of all, they have to design themselves what they want to become in future. What's the interest they have? So that's the thing here. Everybody is the designer of themselves. These are some of the applications of mathematics which come across in our daily life, and we observe the headphones, cellulars, and Fibonacci sequence as a pattern of the nature, probability of the scissors, chewing bubble gum, dreams of bedrooms, sports, all these things. And coming to the mathematics for the 21st century, we want to, there are so many advanced applications in mathematics in 21st century. If we, even though you can observe it will be useful in robotics, in space research, in sports, biological calculations, in the field of information and all the things. And even though if we observe the mathematics is very useful as a differential and integral calculus in the forensic lab. What is the project? This is the main concept here. We come across till now, we observed what are the applications of mathematics, where it is useful here. Now coming to a project. What is a project? Projecting something, assuming something. So when we come across the project, first of all, we have to take a concept, we have to analyze that concept, we have to study the concept, and we have to give a new result. So the total analysis we have to take as a projection on the concept. So what's the project means? Learning by doing something. Whatever we want to do, without doing, we cannot understand easily. So if we are doing that live practical way, then we can understand easily. So learning by doing something. So a project means it's a temporary endeavor which starts from a period of time, and it may take 3 months or half of the year or 1/6 of the year, like that we can use. And it should create a unique results, a unique product. It is a task or a problem engaged by a team of members or individual student. It's a research and academic oriented assignment. So in the engineering part, definitely project is and research and academic part. Now in the present graduation also we can take this. And coming to the mathematical process, critical thinking. Whenever we are doing a project, it definitely improves the critical thinking and expresses the reasoning. So whenever we are doing a project in the mathematical process, first of all, we have to formulate, and that formula to be employed to complete the result, to solve the problem. This interpretation evaluates the solution of the problem. Coming to the main three fundamental concepts of the projects. which are very useful to complete the project is goal, objective, and scope. Goal. Goal is nothing but here what's the aim of the project. For what sake you are doing this project? Is it measurable? Is it achievable? Is it a complete? Is it a consistent? Is it in a time bounded we can complete? It has some specific nature and should give an independent solution. Objective. If you observe the figure, this objectives becomes as a ladders to the goal of a project, which is a center part, and it should be for what sake we are doing this project. Can we complete the project within the time? Is it an achievable or a realistic? So these are the questions may be posed in the objective of the project, and it may becomes a stepping stone to the success. Scope. Project scope is nothing but it should maintain its total analysis of the project. For what sake you are doing? Is it an important? Is it a qualitative or a quantitative analysis? Is it may be useful for the future research? Like that we have to find out. And this scope is composed of cost, quality, and time. It's very, very important. These three terminology in the project whenever we are doing it: time, cost, and quality. The estimation of the project within the time bound we should complete, and the result which we are finding should have some specific quality. Teaching mathematics through concepts, motivation and action learning. If you take a project and if the project may be selected by the students, or if the mentor may be given the project, and it should be always a community professionals approachable, and it should be non-mathematics faculty, so that the applications of mathematics is shows as a vast. So action learning as a result of being too theoretical, mathematics education at the university level becomes very tough. So learning by doing something, it becomes as a pragmatic notion to the mathematical projects. This action learning gives more knowledgeable than the other process. In mathematics education, action learning is early childhood experiences. We'll be seeing it as a playway methods like the abacus, and these are nothing but the action learnings. And here the action learning becomes a reality to the abstraction of the mathematics, and it's a motivational research approach, and it may conduct research in connection with the project experience. What are the advantages of doing project in mathematics? The main motto to settle down in your future as a jobs, and it learns the good discipline to, and it improves the critical thinking and critical knowledge, practical exposure, and developing skills. The project in mathematics helps students understand a specific mathematical concepts. Whenever we are doing a project, the mathematical concept will become as an easier, and it may be practical, and it may be more exposable, and they can attempt the problem and they can solve the problem easier way than the previous. It learns, improves planning and critical thinking. So this is a small example I want to show. I want to display this. Left side, if you observe, whenever any person or a student is sitting in the classroom and listening to the some theorems or the like that, they can't understand, and their expression is too different. But if we observe on the right hand side, if the same concept is done by doing something practically, it gives it as a simple, and they can enjoy the class, and they can understand easier way, and they can improve it. The capability of solving problem can be improved. So whenever we are doing a project, we have to manage some project management things that are analysis, planning, time. So under these three steps, we can come across the communications, and if any risk is there, you have to overcome the risk, and we have to work with the teamwork, team spirit, and so that the result will be better, and it may use that result may be used in the further cases. So whenever you are selecting a project, research project, first of all, you have to think once, is this project will be my project? How to select a suitable research project topic? It should be relevant, specific mainly, analytic, original, and feasible and sustainable, and it should have suitably ambitious quality and methodology. So I want to agree with this statement. You cannot solve a problem from the same consciousness. Whatever the formula we already proved and whatever the concept which we are using, it doesn't give us any new things. We require to show somewhat a new to this world by solving the problem, by finding the solution to a problem which is still now unsolved, and like that we can create and we can give the some new knowledge about the present situation also. So I want to give a brief action plan under these 3 years so that that graduate becomes undergraduation person becomes settled down in good positions. First of all, they have to give the priority to the time management. They have to be honest, improve communication skills, utilize the research process, research resources, inculcate the habit of sending and inculcate the habit of spending the time and attend the seminars, giving the seminars, visiting the universities and field works and like that. Now I want to just give a difference between the research project and project proposal at the institutional level. So we know there are a lot of funding agencies like under the national level UGC, and here NBHM and CSIR, RUSA, and there are some other universities, IITs, which they are giving it as a opportunity to submit our proposals under the funding agencies, and we can approach to them and we can communicate them, and our communication skills will be improved, and our so these are the research process 8 steps, and we can come across these 8 step selection of topic, review the literature, development of conceptual frameworks, clarification of research questions, research design, data collection, and data analysis, and drawing conclusions. Selection of topic is very, very important, and it is a crucial stage. Generally, all of them think that this is an easiest stage. We can select any topic, but whenever we are selecting a topic, first of all, it should not leads to an irretrievable difficulties in future cases, and we cannot go further like that. If we face the problem means we cannot totally, our project will be collapsed. So before going to that, selecting the topic, first you have to think over and you have to collect the information regarding that concept, and later you have to take the decision clearly about the selection of topic. And these are the some of the examples, and here we can come across now the present situation. You can take an examples of different vaccines, comparison of different vaccines, taking a collection of pandemic situation, death rate, and recovery rate of the COVID-19 patients, and like that we can take them. And at present situation, the educational system is dealing with the online classes. What's the difference between the offline and online classes? What's the advantages and disadvantages also you can find out. Reviewing the literature means collecting the literature as if any work is done depending upon the topic which we selected. So if any work is completed, that we have to review and you have to take it as a critically reading it. And here by selecting this, by reading the literature, you have to get an idea and you have to frame work. We have to frame that work and conceptual about the topic, and we have to, this stage organizes what method and what we have to apply, what data collection to be taken like that. Hypothesis development, the statement which we had given under the aim of the project, that should be elaborated, and we have to try to solve the statement in direct effect or mediating or intervening and moderating effects. Research design, what's the data which we want to collect through what process. It may be a secondary or primary data, and it may be experimental data, like that. What method is applicable? These are all survey. You have to take it and questionnaire, and you have to collect the primary data first. After collecting the data collection, which methodology you want to choose, which methods you want to apply for the data collection. And this is the data analysis. How many should be participated in the research? how to solve the problem under this research, and are there any ethical issues, how to gain the access to them. And after completing all the process, we have to draw the conclusions related to the aim of the project. We can evaluate the solution successfully, and our solution becomes a better result if it is a good project. This is about the research projects. Coming to the project proposals under the institutional level, we have to maintain the stepwise abstract. This is the main part of the project. Explains what is doing, how to do it, and why you are doing. Introduction. This shows that what's the things, what are the principles, and what are the definitions, and what are the formulae which we come across the research work and the project. That all the things you have to note it under the introduction. And purpose of the study. What's the main purpose and goal of the project? And you have to write it as stepwise of the project. Literature review, collect the review of the literature, and you have to quote it, and you have it supports for the further process. Methodology. In this section, we have to provide a detailed explanation what is intended, you want to find out, how to approach to the research, and how basically you want to prove your hypothesis. Is that the what test is applicable, what methodology is applicable, which test we can apply. Like that, we have to realize, and that methodology we have to apply. For example, if you want to find out roots of the any polynomial equation, then we will be going to the two methods under the numerical analysis, like that, which method is best method, Newton's method, Newton-Raphson's method, or another any other method is best method, like that you can choose. And here instruments comes across the labs, science departments, and tools come across like that. If you are taking the mathematical tools, MATLAB, and if you want, you can take a programming language, Python, or nowadays it's an advanced tool and a statistical tool, or you can apply Mathematica and Maple you can use to draw the figures like that. You can use tools and you can apply, and our research may becomes modified using different advanced techniques. References. This is the last part of the research. All the reviews, which literature which we collected under the review part, we have to code the project, code the references as names of the authors, title of publications, date of publications, and depending upon that, we have to get the style of the references. It may be alphabetical or cremation mode, and that is about the project proposal. Now coming to the projects, I want to make it as a suggestible project. So these are the some of the topics: applications of differential equations, matrices in industrial field, comparison of any two methods in mathematics, so application of mean value theorem, comparison of COVID-19 vaccine, optimization techniques, stochastic process with more questions. Future education to the graduates, they can attend the JAM test, CP get just any competitive exams so that they can prove it, and they can go through their PG in IITs, IS, and TIF or like that, and they can benefit with fellowship. These are the future education for the commerce people. They will have to attend the CAT, MAT, or SAT examination. If they through the examination, they can pursue MBA in IIMS and IITs. These are some of the competitive exams. As soon as your graduation completes, you can attend it. And here I want to quote this Nicholas, which see who can pronounce OE. And here he is a person with no arms, without arms and legs, but he not depressed by seeing his situation. He achieved as student, teachers, young people, business professionals, how they achieved he achieved different positions. He is an author, musician, actor, and his hobbies including fishing, painting, and swimming. Here, if you observe some of the photographs of him who enjoyed his life, and he is. Thank you to one and all by patiently listening to us.